Hello, welcome to Warrior Strength class. Today is Get Pumped. We will be lifting weights. We are strength training. The equipment you'll need for today is a mat, a variety of dumbbells, and get ready to lift. You will need your tracker sheets if you have them. If you don't have your tracker sheet, that's okay. Follow along with me. You'll still get through class. You'll still get through the workout and it'll still be great. So today's work, we're going through a set one. And that set will be 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest in between or transition in between each exercise. Then we'll head into our second set of work. Same exact exercises, just a shorter time increment. So we'll do 20 seconds of movement, 10 seconds of rest or transition. We will repeat both of those timings again. So set 1, 40-20. Set 2, 20-10, set 3, back to 40-20, and set 4 is 20-10. So we have 4 times that we get to go through all these exercises. I'd like you to take set 1 with the 40 seconds to really work on your form. Find a moderate to heavy weight for each of the exercises. If you're new to lifting, you may grab a lighter weight. That's totally fine. Use the weights that you have at your disposal. And then I would encourage you when we get to that 20 seconds of work to go a little bit heavier. It's 20 seconds. So let's focus on form and then going a little bit heavier on that set. By the time we get to set 3 and 4, you are a master, you're pro. We're gonna just roll right through. We are gonna start with a warm up. So the first thing you have to do is make sure that your space is cleared off and we will begin. If I forget to tell you to write down your weights and track, please just do it anyways. Worst case, at the end of the class, you write it all in. Sometimes I have to do that when I'm writing down and tracking my weights as well. I'll just do it at the end. I kind of can remember which ones I use for each of the muscle groups. So we're gonna start with our warm-up. I'm gonna start our timer. You have water, sweat towel, and hopefully are playing some music at home. And let's begin. I'm so glad you're here today. Thanks for joining. We're gonna start with the march. Just in place. I'm going to offset myself a little bit to the side here just because I put my mat there. Just starting to march in place. Another thing, if you are tracking on your watches, go ahead and start that now. I put this as traditional strength training, so just a tip to you if you are tracking. We're going to take a step, knee forward and back. Start with a step, and then if you can, a little stutter step, a little quick step. Do you move that quick today? Maybe not yet. Let's try. And then the lateral knee, step, knee to side. We don't have to do that quick step here. I don't think my body handles it. I don't know. Yeah, it does. We can do it. A couple. You never know until you try. Let's take our side lunge. Start adding your scoop. Like you're splashing through a puddle. We had a nice big thunderstorm here yesterday. We got puddles outside. So splash through, sink your hips back, chest is proud and lifted. Come up to standing, narrow your feet a little bit, and let's do a little torso rotation here. Lift your heel, turn your hips from wall to wall. Tall posture, long spine. 2 more. Hold yourself centered. Let's take a lunge to the back of the room. Step up, knee up, snap kick. Other leg. We'll do a couple of these here. More than a couple. Nice tall posture. Shoulders are always stacked over your hips when we do lunges. So remember that today as we go through our squats and our lunges. Shoulders stacked over your hips. Let's take a nice big wide stance, arms overhead. Swing through 3 times. 2, and your last one, hold it on down, fingertips forward, walk to plank, low lunge. I added that little hip mobility on there, so let's do it again. Swing through, 3 times. Last one, hold it down, walk it out. You do not have to do the legs this time. Let's just do inchworm out to plank, hold it, contract through your center, a little pinch through your ab muscles, and do it one more time. 3, swing through 2, hold it down 1, Walk it on out, fingertips forward, palms to the ground, a little pause in your plank. Make sure you've got great form there. Walk it on back, roll it on up. And then a little jumping jack. You're gonna start marching in 3, 2, 1. We're starting with our deadlift and our squat. When you're doing your deadlift, proud chest, weight straight down, straight from your shoulders. Right to about mid-shin, pulling with your hamstrings and glutes back to the top, then coming into a squat. Let's go ahead and get out our weights and try set 1. Ready, set, toes forward, proud chest, deadlift, squat. So we hinge from the hip on the deadlift. Then we bend at our knees and sink our tailbones back on the squat. Your abs are engaged the whole time. So I want you to think about tall posture, shoulders stacked over your hips, proud chest. Maybe smile at me. Hello. Hello there. Let's work together today, shall we? Go ahead and pause. We have 20 seconds to transition for a rear lunge and a curtsy. This is where stacking your shoulders over your hips is a great idea. I'm switching out my weights. You can do so as well. We are going to do a lunge to the back, curtsy, and then go to the other side. Ready, set, go. Lunge back, step up in your front heel, switch legs. Lunge, curtsy. Rear lunge, curtsy. I need to say it out louder. I'll get myself all mixed up. Rear lunge, curtsy. Push your front heel into the ground. Your toes forward. Shoulders are stacked, like I said, okay? So check yourself right now. Are your shoulders tall? Are you standing proud? Can I read what's on your shirt today? If it's yes, your posture is great. Finish off if you need to. Write down your weights. You need to. And then let's make our way to the floor. I'm going to grab my mat. We have chest fly, chest press. We have done this before. As soon as you see it, as soon as you know it, let's get started. We have a fly, open, turn, press. Your elbows are going to hover over the floor on both of these moves, okay? So hug a tree, turn, chest press, arms are parallel. So let me turn my angle. So you can see how parallel my arms are, and they're just straight up over the midline of my chest. If you're feeling anything in your shoulders, usually it's just an adjustment of getting your fists in line with the midline of your chest. Go ahead and lower down. We have skull crusher. Woo! And a tricep press next. So I'm going to change out my weights. Elbows are tucked in tight. They're literally next to my rib cage. Press, come outside your temples, and then back down. Go ahead and begin. Watch me for cues. Press, shoulder to elbows in a straight line. Your forearms come right outside of your temples, okay? It's called a skull crusher, but we don't actually want to crush our skull. Press straight up. We're using the back of our arms, our triceps, to push the weight and control and pull the weight on our skull crusher. Elbows graze the rib cage, press up. Shoulder to elbow stays in place, triceps, extension in a skull crusher on the floor here. All right, go ahead and release those. One other thing while we're on the ground, when we're doing those moves, your knees are bent so that your lower back is on the floor. If you find that it's not on the floor, tilt your hips toward your chin just a little bit, contract your abs, okay? Bent over, wide row, narrow row. Let's do it. Proud chest to the ground. Weight straight down from the shoulders. You've got a wide row like goalpost, turn it on in, narrow row. Wide row, turn it, narrow row. Each time we want to squeeze our shoulder blades together like we're pinching a pencil behind our back, okay? Right between your blades. So activate the movement from your back muscles. Squeeze, pinch your shoulder blades. Try to use some good descriptive words for you. Elbows hike up on the bent over row, the narrow one, go ahead and come up so that they're just above your rib cage and you're pulling your weights to your pockets. All right, we've got biceps next. Are you remembering what weights you're using? Are you switching up a little bit? If you have a second, write it down. Otherwise, switch with me. We've got a wide curl, full curl. Let's go. Elbows are tucked in to your side. Ideally, you want your shoulder to elbow to stay in line with your torso. Okay? You don't want them to pop out to the side or swing or sway. You want to tuck it in and work that beautiful bicep of yours. We're breathing, standing tall posture, slight bend in your knees. You can take a staggered stance if you need to. You've got 5 seconds left. Are you burning with me? We're working. Every little rip, every little tear in those muscles is coming back stronger the next time, okay? That's what's helping you. Clear off your space, come down to your mat. We have a reverse plank to a V up. So if you have time, write down the weight you use. Just write the number in really quick. Reverse plank, your fingertips can be towards your butt or slightly angled out. Begin. Lift your V up. Option is reverse tabletop to boat. I suggest start here. And when you're feeling comfortable, try the full plank. Try the V up. You know I'm working on my V ups. Balancing on your tailbone and lifting your legs. A front V up is challenging for me, but I'm gonna rise to the challenge. I'm gonna keep trying. If you keep trying, we'll do it together. And time. Breathe. You don't have to write anything down for that, unless you want to write down how many reps you got, but I'm good if you're not writing anything down. I love this next one. It is our dolphin to a leg lift, okay? So, you're on your elbows, and you can either lift, then leg lift, or you can hop to dolphin, hop back, leg lift, okay? We are beginning, so 2 versions of this. I'm going to do one of each. I'll alternate so you can see. I like the hops. Hop to the balls of your feet. Make sure you hop up, hike up your tailbone, core tight, and then you're holding a really great plank as you squeeze your glutes and lift your heel to the ceiling. So you really want to make sure you're using your rear and not your back paws, okay? Back muscles are there to assist, but it is your glutes, your cheeks, they're really doing the work there. Okay, I need to swipe sweat. You need to breathe. You need to breathe. Swipe sweat. Grab some water if you need to. Whew. We're going to do it all over again. This time, remember, it's 20 seconds of work. 10 seconds transition. You know the moves. Transitions are going to be quick. So, probably wait to write down your weights at the end. Let's go ahead and start. Deadlift to squat. We're breathing, nice deep breaths. This is how I'm going to settle myself as we work through this set. And I want you to try that too. Last one. Pause for 10. Switching to our rear lunge. Curtsy. Breathe in 3, 2, 1. We go. Lunge back. Step up in your front heel. Step up into your heel. Whew. Back. And then at an angle. Come on, Trace. We got this. I can do back and at an angle. Can you? Say yes. I'm listening to you. Go ahead and pause. Coming down to the floor. Woo-hoo. I'm going to need these weights with me. As soon as you're down there, start chest fly. Press. All right, so I did not grab a heavier weight because I want to do this with you, and I just decided to grab what was in my hands. But you should be using a heavy weight here, please. All right, pause. Now we come into our tricep press. Skull crusher, I'll use my heavy weight for this one, okay? There we go, I'll even it out. Elbows tucked in tight. Press to the ceiling over your chest. Skull crush. Press straight up over your shoulders. Remember, shoulder to elbow does not move. If you find it swaying, then you're going too heavy, okay? This might be too heavy for me. All right, good challenge for 20 seconds. We handled it. Coming into our bent over wide row to our narrow row. Please clear space, make sure you're safe first, and then let's go. Proud chest. Shoulder blades squeezing together. Narrow, wide, narrow. Flip your wrists. Pull to your pockets on their narrow row. There you go. Pause. Full curl, wide curl. Do wide curl first. Switching out these weights. Ready, set, wide, front, wide, like a W. Front, elbows pinned into your sides. There shouldn't be any air getting into your armpits right now. Tuck your elbows in. Awesome job. Let's come down for our plank to V up. Are you going to try the plank and the V up, or are you going to go reverse tabletop? Go. For 20 seconds, I'm going to practice and get better. And I want you to do the same. Practice, get better. Lift your hips to the ceiling, squeeze the back of your legs and your rear. Good job. Dolphin hops. I love me some dolphin hops. What do you think about them? Hop or lift and your leg lift. Ready, set, go. Hop or pike up. Lift with your cheeks. Squeeze your rear, your derriere. Whoops. All right, go ahead and pause. Breathe. Swipe sweat water. Now's the time. We went through 2 sets. We have 2 more to go. So we're halfway through. I want you to just assess yourself right now. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Where can you go heavier? Where do you need to lighten up? We have 8 seconds. And we're coming back to our deadlift squat. Whew. You hear those beeps? Ready, set, begin. 40 seconds of your best form right here. Hinge, squat. Your hips are like a door frame, right? Opening and closing the door from your hip joint, proud chest, flat back. Shoulder blades pulled together. See what I just did? If you need to roll your shoulders down and back, take the time at the top. For good posture, make your adjustment. Last one, headed into our rear lunges and curtsy. So adjust your weights as needed. You have time to write something down if you'd like to. You've got 10 seconds yet. So roll your shoulders down and back, proud chest. Step back, tap, come back at an angle like a bowler's lunge or a curtsy. Step back, tap, angle. Really good form here. Push into your front heel. Make sure your knee is behind your toe. So you can do a little peek down in your peripheral. Let's protect our bodies and keep them safe. Shoulders are stacked over your hips. You're doing great. We're moving along. We're breathing and sweating together. And time, getting stronger each rep. Chest fly, chest press. I will lead these. Going back to my heavier weights. Breathe here. You've got 5 seconds. 2, tilt your hips towards your chin, get your lower back on the floor, and we fly, turn, press. I feel like, oh my gosh, we went through these so quick last time. I don't even know if I did the turn press. The 20 seconds before this is like a blur. All right. Fly, turn, press, turn, fly, turn, press. Try to squeeze your chest muscles together. So you know how we pinch our pencil between our shoulder blades when we do the rows? This is the same thing except we're pinching a pencil between our pectoral muscles, okay? Same thing. Whew. Go ahead and release. Use those weights or change it out for your triceps. We're gonna lay back down, tilt your tailbone underneath you. You get your lower back to the floor, contract through your center, so your hips are tilted towards you slightly. If you have a little sway back or an arch in your back. Press, skull crusher. So now that I have the correct weight, my shoulder to elbow won't move. How about you? How's yours doing? This is the back of your arm. The muscle that opposes your bicep on the front of your arm. We want to squeeze that horseshoe that's in the back of your arm. So let's work it. Tap your elbows when you come into your tricep press, but don't stay there. It's a little tap, press, skull crusher, lower on down. Write down your weights that you used if you want to roll off your mat really quick. And then we're going into our bent over wide row to our narrow row. I'm deciding what weight to use. I'll go back to my hobbies again. We're gonna do this. Ready, set, proud chest, feet about hip width. Drape your hands straight down from your shoulders. Squeeze, turn, squeeze, turn. So I like to say your elbows are pulling to the ceiling on your wide row, like the goalpost on a football field, okay? And then tuck your weights into your pockets when you're doing your narrow pull, your narrow row. That's all we're doing. We're pulling our weights, using our back muscles. They get neglected. We want to use them to lift our posture, stand a little taller, and pause. I love that about back. Working, we stand a little taller, a little prouder, a little more confident. All right, we've got the front of the arm now, the bicep. Elbows are going to tuck in to your sides. We go wide first, so palms out. Curl, palm narrow, right in front of you. Open, wide, come in, narrow. Slight bend in your knee, shoulders stacked over your hips. Tilt your tailbone under just a little bit. Do you feel your abdominals working now? Let me tell you that. If you need to, take a staggered stance. There's different stances you can take. Just make sure that your knees are slightly bent. We're not locking them out. And time. Coming down for our, I'm breathing, you're breathing. Reverse plank, 2 up. Remember your options here, tabletop and boat pose. Just breathe, just breathe. All right, heels dig into the floor, toes to the ceiling, fingertips towards your bottom or slightly angled out. So we're working the back and the front. These are opposing muscle groups. That does make it a little more challenging because you're focused on your back and all of a sudden you've got to focus on your front. But isn't that life? It's like driving a car. We're driving forward, and when we pull out of a parking lot, we got to put it in reverse, you know? So we've got to work our fronts and our backs. It's very functional for life. And time. Dolphin, hops, or pike ups, and plank leg lifts, okay? So remember, we are using our abdominals again, and then our glutes to lift the leg lift. Listen, you don't have to lift very high when you're in your leg lift. So keep it tight, and let's pike it up. Ready, set, go. Either hop or lift, and then lift and lift. So it can just be a little lift of your heel as you squeeze your cheek. Pike, plank. So you can get your booty up here, and then I want you to kind of tilt your hips towards your chin. Keep your booty down in your plank position. I'm trying, you're trying, we're doing it together. Let's go. 5 seconds left. Write down anything you need to. Track the weights that you used if you have missing spots in your tracker sheet. And then let's do it one more time through. 4 times is the charm, right? Breathe. And then let's get ready. Deadlift, squat. Okay, we got a little bit more of a break here. 10 more seconds. And then we're going, okay? Okay? We got this. Last set. Let's rock it out. All right? Smile at me. Come on, let's go. Deadlift to your squat. Drive through your legs on your squat. Squeeze your hamstrings and glutes right where your leg attaches to your rear on your deadlift. Proud chest, proud chest. 10 seconds to transition if you need to grab a different weight. For your rear lunge curtsies. Listen, you can right L down your tracker at the end. Ready, set, go. We don't have time right now, unless you've got your weight set up really nice. You can write it down really quick. Rear lunge to curtsy. So we were just talking about working your backside. This works your backside. And our backside is what propels us through life. So we'd like to work that. Chest fly, chest press. Ready, set, begin. I'll meet you down there. Fly, turn, press. Now, I've been walking around with these weights trying to walk you quickly through this. And I'm realizing that I'm not being super safe with the way that I'm laying them down. So, let me put them down nicely. There we go. Okay, so you work on that too. If you feel like you're getting a little sloppy, that's where injuries happen, and I don't want you to get hurt. Tricep press, skull crusher, tricep press, skull crusher. Another thing is just to make sure that your weights are cleared out of your space that you're moving in. Maybe you have a bigger room. You can kind of walk to your weights. All right, pause. We're gonna stand up. So again, I need to move my weights out of the way so I can stand up and do my bent over. Wide row, narrow row, go. Grab your weights and go. Wide, turn, narrow. Turn, wide, turn, narrow. Got it? Squeeze your back muscles, long neck. And let's go ahead into our curls. A little bend in your knees, elbows into your waist, wide, come in, narrow. Wide, come in, full curl, narrow. So you do want to take your weights up to your shoulders. Trying to still, again, keep your elbows tucked in. Good, good, good. Okay, come down to reverse plank. V-ups, sitting on your bottom. Tabletop, go, or plank, go, V-up. So each time you do this, think about making progress, getting better, getting stronger. Because you are. Good job. Okay, go ahead and pause, flipping it on over for our planks. Clear your space. We go in 3, 2, 1. Begin. Dolphin, leg lifts. Dolphin, leg lifts. Gently drop ourselves down into a child's pose. Take your bottom towards your heels, reach your fingertips out ahead of you. Deep breaths. You can let your torso rise and lower with your breaths as you inhale and release. Especially if you're breathing heavy, let's just take these nice deep breaths and rise and lower. Come on up to all fours. Let's work through our spine a little bit here. Tuck your tailbone under your chin to your chest. Give me a cat-cow, and then release. Round, and release. As you round, I want you to think about hollowing out your armpits, pushing your palms and fingertips into the ground, putting a little pressure on your hands into the ground as you round, 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 and then release, relax. One more. All right, let's sit down on our bottoms. Hopefully we have settled our breathing just a little bit. Let's first work on stretching out our legs, and then we'll head into our arms, okay? So you can take a bent knee and reach forward. If you need to, straighten out your leg more, or straighten it out all the way if you have any knee issues as you're trying to reach. Towards your foot, if you can reach to your ankle or your calf, that's fine too. Chest goes to your knees. Your nose is reaching forward to your toes, so we're lengthening the back of the leg. Once we lengthen the back of our legs, our hamstrings and our glutes, as they loosen up, our lower back loosens up. So if you're having any lower back pains, I always suggest go to your hamstrings and glutes first if everything's tight in your lower back. Even reaches down to your calf. I talk about this with my daughter. Go ahead and switch legs. She comes home and she's like, Mom, this one part of my back is just sore. And I'm like, honey, it might just be because she does have some foot and ankle issues. It might just be that you need to stretch. Like, okay. It's hard to get her to stretch, but I keep trying. I keep telling her, come stretch with me. We'll do it together. And I said, if you just loosen up your calf, it should loosen up the rest of your leg as well. Being a gymnast is hard on the body, so we come home with aches and pains all the time, and we're trying to remedy them. All right, let's go ahead and take both legs forward. Thank you so much for joining today. Did you increase your weights a little bit from last time we lifted together, from the last time we did this class? If you look at your tracker sheet, did you make any gains yet? Or are you kind of on the same path as you were? That's why I love tracking, not only so I know where I need to make some increases in what I'm lifting, but also just to see my progress, because progress comes in all sorts of ways when we're doing fitness. Come up nice and tall and then turn yourself towards the back of the room or towards the corner, and use your thigh to help you along. Come back to center and let's switch sides. Today I want you to think about drinking a lot of water and hydrating, giving your muscles some fluids as you repair them. Okay, you're going to come down to our stomachs. We're going to make a T with our arms. Bend your elbows. Let's walk our right hand forward just a little bit. And then we're going to take our left hand, kind of come closer to your armpit. Take your left leg and give me a little scorpion twist to the back. If you can tap the floor or rest your foot on the floor, cool. What you'll find here is that you're opening up your chest and your shoulder. Whew. And it should feel amazing. If not, please adjust your hands or come a little bit lower, and then let's switch and do the other side. So I say this is like goalposts. Walk your left hand forward just a little bit. Your other hand can come a little closer to your armpit. Push your elbow on your left arm into the ground as you let your leg kind of droop behind you. Other hand pushes into the floor, opening up your chest, your shoulders. This will even open up your biceps. All right, and while we're down here, we're going to come back into our child's pose. I'm going to ask you to stretch out your triceps next. So hips wide, toes together, tailbone towards your heels, and then let's go ahead and take our elbows to the ground and just wrap our fingers behind the bottom of your
more towards your neck. So elbows down on the ground, forehead on the floor, and this should be opening up and stretching your triceps. If it's not, walk your elbows a little further forward and then pull back your bottom towards your heels. That should be a nice tricep opener for you. And again, since we're down here, let's thread through and open up our back. So arm is going to come through your armpit like you're reaching for a remote or something that's important to you. Walk your top arm out a little bit, drop your shoulder. You can even drop your forehead to the ground, and then let's switch sides. So you're going to take your arm and thread it underneath your armpit. Reach, reach, reach. Walk your top arm out, lay your shoulder down. So this also helps your shoulders. So much tension creeps up into our shoulders, so let's stretch it on out. Bless all the work we did today. Come up to all fours, curl your toes under down dog. You can walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands. A little straddle fold, roll on up. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale. You did an awesome job today. Thank you so much for being strong warriors with me. I will see you back here on Friday. Tomorrow is your rest day or a replay catch-up day. So use your time for yourself tomorrow, and I will see you back here at 9 o'clock on Friday. Bye guys, thanks so much for coming.